Hey everybody, my name is Lucy Price and welcome to Shift Your Story. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Shift Your Story podcast. Today we are going to be talking about why managing your feelings is so important and the effect that mismanagement of your feelings can have on your relationships and on your life as a whole. First, I want to break down what I am currently defining managing your feelings to mean, because I think that is something that does get missed when we talk about emotional regulation or emotional intelligence. So when I am speaking on emotional management or managing your feelings, the things that I'm really honing in on are first being aware of what your feelings are, being able to have that awareness, to be in touch with your body, to be in touch with the sensations that are coming up in your body, and being able to know that they're present before they start acting without your conscious awareness. The second thing is being able to feel your feelings, really being able to just sit and feel. To feel the tightness on your chest or the butterflies or the knots or the jitters or any sensation that is rippling through your body. Because when you really break feelings down, feelings are just sensations. Feelings are just energy currents moving through the body. And it isn't until we label it that it becomes something else. And as soon as we start to label a feeling, we start to make a story about that feeling. We start to make that feeling mean a particular thing. Whereas just feeling your feelings is allowing the sensations to ripple through your body and have the awareness of them. Then we get into processing your feelings. Processing your feelings is allowing yourself to feel the feelings and then make conscious meaning of them. And the reason I say make conscious meaning of them is because sometimes we could be feeling a sensation and it's easy for us to label it as anger. But after we sit with it for a while, after we allow the sensation to move, after we get curious about the sensation, we realize that the sensation isn't anger. That's just the easy thing to label it, or that's the thing we have deemed as an acceptable thing to feel, as opposed to the real feeling that could be rejection or embarrassment or sadness, the feeling beneath the feeling. And processing your feeling allows you to really get curious about your feelings, to really sit with your feelings, and really get to the root of what that feeling actually is, as opposed to the first emotion readily acceptable by your brain. And then finally, managing your feelings is being able to communicate and act consciously. So being able to communicate your feelings to someone else, to communicate what is going on for you, as well as to act consciously, to act in alignment with the results you want to have, rather than the first impulse in your body or the first reaction your body is having. I think being able to manage our feelings, being able to process and communicate our feelings is so powerful, because otherwise we are acting from a very reactionary place. And when we are acting from a reactionary place, we can often act in ways that we would later regret. We can often say something or do something that isn't actually what we feel. We can act from a triggered place. And when we act from that place, it often means that we either contribute to or create situations where there's more rupture to repair. There's more we have to clean up. There's more that we have to process later. And so being able to really manage your feelings ahead of time when conflict comes up in a relationship, or rejection comes up, or jealousy comes up, being able to manage your feelings allows you to act with intent. It allows you to take a step back and question, is this action, is this behavior based off of this feeling really going to create the results I want? Because if you've been here on the Shift Your Story podcast, you know that something we talk about is our circumstances cause thoughts. Our thoughts then create feelings. Feelings cause us to act in a certain way. And depending on what our actions were, we're going to get certain results. So if you are acting from an emotionally reactive place, let's say someone gave you feedback that was really hard for you to hear, and you're taking that and you have the thought of they don't like me and they're blaming me, and that feels really hurtful or angry, which causes you to lash out, to call them names, to get defensive, to put the blame on them, that might result in a full-blown argument that could result in rupture, in both parties feeling unheard, and both parties feeling defensive. Whereas if you're able to manage your feelings, if you're able to get into the same circumstance where you feel like someone is giving you hard feedback or you feel like you're being blamed, and if you're able to catch those feelings, to catch those thoughts that are feeling really activating, that feel really hard in the body, and sit with them, you can then go through a different processing sequence. You can then feel your feelings, sit with your feelings, and start asking yourself the question of, what am I making this mean? What story am I telling myself about this person, about myself, about the situation, because of what I'm feeling and because of what I'm thinking right now? And going through that process gives you a moment of pause. It allows you to have a moment of spaciousness to really assess, okay, am I sure that I'm acting from a fact and not a feeling? Because sometimes we can make something mean that it's a fact, that it's true, that if we feel like they're blaming us, that they are blaming us, even if that is not objectively true. And so taking that pause allows you the moment to really get curious, to really ask yourself, what am I making this mean? And is what I'm making this mean serving me? Is this getting me closer to what I want? Maybe that is deeper connection with this other person. Maybe that is coming to a place of understanding. Maybe that is just acting in alignment with yourself and acting with compassion and grace within yourself. But is this thought, is this feeling leading me to act in a way that I like, leading me to act in a way that is in alignment for me? And if it's not, you then have the opportunity to adjust how you respond. You start responding instead of reacting, because you allowed yourself the opportunity to manage your emotions, to manage your thoughts, and really think through what the results of acting from those thoughts and feelings are going to be, and if it's something you even want. Something else I really want to bring in here is that oftentimes when we're acting from feelings, we are forgetting that feelings are often temporary. Feelings ebb and flow, and we might feel one way about something today and a completely different way about something tomorrow, based off of circumstance, based off of how we're feeling, based off of what happened that day, based off of what's going on in the world, based off of how our bodies are feeling, based off of a lot of things. And so when we instinctively act off of feeling without really allowing ourselves to go through the full emotional process that our feelings have, we can find ourselves in a situation where, oh, yikes, I actually acted in a way I didn't like yesterday, and now today I feel completely different about it, but I have all this repair work to do. So feelings come and go. Feelings really ebb and flow in our lives, and you have to give yourself the opportunity to go through the emotional cycle so you can really get clear on what it is you're actually feeling. And being able to manage your feelings is the pathway to doing that. In life, you can act out of your feelings, but we have to remember that we can't take things back. We can't take back the words we say. We can't take back the actions that we do. Once we set something into motion in our relationships, in our lives, that motion carries out until it is transformed into something else. And that doesn't mean that you can't engage in repair. And that doesn't even mean that sometimes repair can lead to closer relationships than you had before. That is something I see a lot in relationships. So it doesn't mean that your relationship is doomed or anything like that. It just means by building the muscle of managing your emotions, you are more purposeful and intentional of how you speak, how you act, how you engage in relationships and in the world around you. And that's a very powerful thing when you can't take words back, when you can't take actions back. So being able to manage your feelings gets you closer to what you want. It gets you closer to the relationships you want. It gets you closer to the life you want and enjoying the life that you want. Because when you are able to show yourself that you can intentionally choose your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings, that is something that you can practice intentionally doing. When you're able to realize that and really implement that into your life, you cultivate really tangibly a life that you want to live in, a life that you feel good about, a life that feels really enriching for you. So managing your relationship, or managing your feelings rather, is not only powerful for your relationships, but it's also powerful for your life and the quality of life you actually feel when you are going about your day-to-day, month-to-month, year-to-year situations and realities. So take some time to really think about where you are skilled at managing your emotions and your feelings, and where there is an opportunity to go deeper and to learn more and to develop a different skill. Maybe you are really good at being aware of your feelings, but you jump to label them before you have a chance to feel them. Or maybe you communicate your emotions, before you've really had an opportunity to think through them, to get curious about them, and to feel them. Maybe you jump to processing your feelings before you're even really aware of your feelings. So take some time to really think about where you are at in terms of managing your feelings, where there's opportunity to go deeper, to learn more, to grow in that skill, and also to celebrate where you're doing really well, where you are really succeeding in managing your feelings and the quality of life that is giving you, and just taking some time to honor it, to celebrate it, and to acknowledge the work that you have done. But managing your feelings can get you a lot in life. It can get you closer relationships. It can get you better opportunities. And more than anything, it just allows you to really enjoy life because you're able to manage your own feelings around it. If this episode served you, if you got something out of today's episode, I hope that you'll share this. I hope that you'll send this to a friend or send this to someone in your community, because really sharing and talking about this podcast and this work is what allows me to reach more listeners. Full transparency, it's what allows me to really share work that I'm so passionate about and that I think is so useful in someone's life and in someone's relationships. So if this was a service to you, I hope that you'll share this. I hope that you'll give some 5-star good reviews down in the review section. And if you have any requests, if you want me to talk about anything in particular, feel free to send me a DM. Feel free to send me a message. I would love to speak more on what you want to hear. So feel free to send me any topics or questions that you have. In the month of November, if you haven't seen already, I am doing a 30-day self-love practice called Date Yourself. It's completely free. You can find the link to join and get the PDF day-by-day cross-out sheet on my website, www.shiftyourstory.net, or you can just go into the show notes because I made it easy for you. So you can click the show notes link and get it there. And these 30 days are really an opportunity for you to get to know yourself and fall in love with yourself all over again. And maybe for the first time. I know for a lot of people, it's hard to love yourself and it's hard to know yourself. So I created a full 30-day free guide to show you how to do it. So definitely get in on this Date Yourself journey. Again, all the links are in the description. And if you want to go deeper with me, I do have a one-on-one spot available as well right now. So if you want to step into one-on-one coaching to really see changes in your relationship with others and yourself, to really move past relationship anxiety or get over an ex or connect to your partner in a more loving, deep way, then reach out to me about my one-on-one coaching spot and see if it's for you. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll catch you on the next Shift Your Story episode. Goodbye for now. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If something resonated with you in today's episode, if you could leave a review, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps other people learn what we're all about here at Shift Your Story, and it helps this podcast reach listeners who may need to hear what it is that we have to say.
If you would like to connect with me or work with me, you can visit my website at www.shiftyourstory.net. You can also find all of my socials on there so you can connect with me in the way that works best for you. I'll see you next time.